Good evening, everybody. This is your girl, Waniata Carter, that church girl, and I am with my sister in love. Spilled that tea with Cookie. Don't play with the Cookie Carter, right? Y'all know
Right.
what it is. Y'all know who it is. So we have came together. My sister, let me tell you guys something about my sister, right? She called me last night and it was like, sister, we should do something today just talking about our marriage and how we can. She felt as though we have very good wisdom and knowledge to share with people on us doing just talking about marriage. A lot of people talk about negative about marriage, how so many people don't really think marriage is needed. They just think it's a piece of paper. Well, we come to show you on tonight that it's necessary and it's needed for a successful marriage, not just a relationship, but how to have a successful marriage. And so again, I'm going to turn this over to my sister, Cookie Carter. She's going to introduce herself, what she does, and then we're going to go right into our topics. Go ahead, sister, take it away.
Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Spill the Tea with Cookie. I am a content creator and also an HR professional by career, but by trade. I love content and creating content. Um, it's really not much to me, other than I am just a um, free spirited individual who love to share wisdom, and if I have knowledge, I love to share knowledge. And I hope everyone kind of gets something from this live, because I know a lot of people are kind of running away from tradition, and I feel like marriage is necessary, because without marriage or strong foundation or a man in the home, homes don't run smoothly, right? And a man needs a woman, and a woman needs a man, and it states it in the Bible. So I just feel like, especially this new generation, they're kind of getting away from that traditional man and woman needing each other. And so whenever I can share some of my wisdom with the younger crowd, I'm all for it. So I called my sister up and was like, sis, we need to go live. And I love her so much. And she was like, look, let's go ahead and do it. Been busy all day, and she still made some time for me. So thank you.
Yes. So before we go, let me tell you something. Let's really let me help you guys understand something. Cookie is my sister, right? Can you let the people know why you my sister?
Yes, I am married to her brother, honey.
Yes. Yes.
So my husband is her brother.
Yes. And listen, you don't find people with the very first time we met Cookies when my brother brought her home for my mom's birthday, and this young lady stepped with us. You hear me? She was like, first impressions, everything. I had to make sure I was together. All of that. BJ had told us like she's like she brought so many different dresses. She was like, BJ, I gotta be on one. I ain't trying to come off like this and that and all of it. So she came with it. And when I tell you when they stepped in, they was like kings and queens. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. So
Hey.
from day one, Cookie has been my sister, and I am so grateful to God that my brother made her his wife. Because one thing I do know about scripture, and I'm a preacher, so y'all forgive me. One thing I do understand about the Bible is the Bible says a man who findeth a wife finds a good thing. And when I tell you that my brother found a good thing, he found a
Oh,
good thing,
this
and I
is
appreciate her for that. And not only have they been married for 2 years now, right? Can we just talk a little bit about the blessing of the Lord and how He just blessed y'all real quick and buying y'all a home together? Talk about it, Cookie.
yes. So on our journey, right? Um, so we currently own the home we living in now, which won't be for long, because we just purchased. Well, we're in the middle of trying to close on our second home. So it's been a road. It's been a big journey, because we're trying to sell where we're at now and hope. hopefully by next month, if not this month, we close on our forever home until we buy our mansion. Because, you know, I always say, I speak stuff in existence. Like, I feel like we are our family's next billionaires. Y'all
Absolutely.
heard it here first.
Absolutely. And we are our family's billionaires. And
Yes.
we by both of us being in HR, let you guys know too. My background is also in HR management as well, and I love everything about HR. And find somebody who likes what I like. And what's so crazy is my brother was trying so hard not to marry his sister, right? But he married someone almost like his sister. So, and I appreciate that so much because me and her, we talk, and I was just telling my auntie Kim, I said I was on the phone with Cookie from the time I got off work until almost going to bed. And guess what? I ain't care nothing about that because when we talk, me and my sister talk, and it's always about poured into each other. I could call her and say, "Sister, what you think about this?" She calling me, "Sister, what you think about this?" I'm like, "Girl, okay, let's do it." You know, I love it. I love it. And just pouring into each other. And that's what you need when you're stuck in something and you can have somebody that is really there to help you. Um, and guess what? And there's no hidden agenda.
Exactly.
Clock that T.
Exactly.
No hidden
Exactly.
agenda. We are all in this together. So again, and so tonight is just, it's not about perfection, it's not about growth. It's it's about healing and the real love and
Yeah.
what that looks like. And so all of both our journeys are different. I'm in my marriage, been in my marriage for 9 years, my very first marriage. And what I can definitely say in this lane that I've been in taught me about commitment, how to shift from romance to partnership, how to have a we're growing together in seasons. So let me guys help you understand something. My husband and I have it's an age gap there, and we both were raised different. But one thing that me and my husband stand on together is us connecting and having a prayer life and growing together. And yes, we had some trying times in our marriage. Yes, it ain't been roses and ain't been, I get on his nerves, he get on my nerves. But guess what we do? One thing that me and my husband has made a vow to is that we're never going to bed angry. And I can literally say, um, since we've been married, we don't go to bed angry. We have our differences, and we are definitely learning now to listen to each other more. I am definitely learning to listen to my husband more, and as well, and learning how to be quiet. Because sometimes, as a strong woman, I can go
Mhm.
there with you, and I'm learning that. And so, I'm choosing even to love hard, even in the hard days. Those things that I don't even understand. Let me tell you something. I don't even. When my husband put me together, get me together. Well, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Oh my God, Cookie. I don't want to do that. And then balancing marriage, ministry, and business was also different for me as well with my husband. And so, again, that is just pretty, just a give you guys a little snippet of my journey. But I'm gonna give it over to my sister, and she could talk about her journey and her marriage as well.
Mhm. Yes, actually, I've been married 3 times. So, my first marriage, first, first of all, I always knew I was a wife. Okay,
Come on,
number one,
come on.
right? Because my mama ain't raised no single women. She always tell me she's married. She is raising us to be married women. So, my
Oh, I
very
love that.
first marriage, I felt like that he kind of caught me vulnerable. I don't know if anyone's ever been in a situation where you feel like, oh my gosh, time is getting the best of me and I'm not getting any younger and I need to settle down and find someone to grow old with. I feel like that's my husband, my first husband caught me there, right? So, mind you, this was a man who um, did not check all my boxes, but I felt like I was doing a lot of settling, right? Because when we very first got married, I found out so many things that was not very truthful. Like, for example, he didn't have a job, okay? didn't tell me that. He had me believing he had a job. Don't ask me where this man was going for 8 hours, but he was leaving.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so didn't even have a job. So we literally married off of a lie because he had me believing he had a job the whole time. Meanwhile, he's paying my bills, right? So I wasn't thinking anything of it, Wani. And the crazy thing is this. Guess how I found out he didn't have a job?
Wow. How did you
His
find your
mama. His mama told me. And
what?
so, yeah, so that was a hard pill to swallow because this whole time, this woman was paying for our bills, you know? And I felt horrible because I didn't know she was paying our bills. So then that came out, and then there was so many other things. We just wasn't equally yoked. So I learned so much from that marriage. First of all, I don't believe that he was ready for marriage. And like I stated before, I was in a state where I was ready to commit and I was ready to settle down and I was ready to be a wife and I was ready to be monogamous. And I was just ready, right? And meanwhile, he wasn't so much ready, right? And so there were a lot of things that he wouldn't bend on or compromise on. It was either his way or the highway. And I can submit, you know, so I was very submissive in my first marriage because that's how it was taught to me. So things that were bothering me, I didn't really speak up and say, "Hey, it bothers me when you do that." You know, so we wasn't equally yoked. I ended up getting a divorce. That marriage only lasted for about a year roughly, but it was a rough year. And I say it was so hard to be married to this man who didn't know how to communicate, express himself. I mean, it was a mess. My second marriage, because mind you, after that first marriage, I was celibate. And I was on a celibacy journey and I was not being intimate, but pouring my heart out to God and just trying to be that faithful person so that God can bring me my person, my next person. So, anyways, which I thought, ooh, this is a good one. I knew that wasn't the man for me, my second husband.
Wow.
I knew it. I knew it, and I told my sister, Jasmine. I said, I don't think I'm supposed to marry him, but everybody was there already because he had family from out of town, you know, and they came to see us wed. And I was second guessing everything, but I still went through with it because I felt like it was too late. You know how, like, I mean, like I was literally there. I mean, I could have been a runaway bride, but you know, what good would it have done me? So, um, I ended up marrying him, and we were only married for about 2 months. Like, we got married in August. I filed for divorce in October.
Wow.
He was a very stubborn, manipulative individual, and what I learned from that is that when God gave me that gut feeling to not do it, and I did it anyway. I went against God. I went against what God told me not to do. It was
Mm.
crazy. So I feel like there was something in that I had to learn, and I think it was patience. And so I was like, okay, I get it. Just because I want something doesn't mean that he is wanting it for me. So,
Ooh. Come
yep.
on, say it again.
And so for that, I had to make, you know, I made that bid, so I had to lie in it. So I told myself I am not gonna look for marriage. I'm over it. I'm just gonna be single, and I'm gonna just date myself. And so that's what I did. I was dating myself, learning what I was desiring of myself and what God wanted for me, and I allowed God to choose my last husband. Okay, and so
Clock it. I love it. Clock it.
yes, so then I met my honey, and it was so weird because, like I said, I wasn't trying to rush nothing. I was dating myself on a journey of getting to know myself. And then I met your brother. And when I say it was like a breath of fresh air, because even though he's not a big talker, right? I didn't know that. Because he was talking to me, he was on the phone for all hours of the night. And it's funny because that's not even his personality, you know? And it was like, I didn't know that it was his personality. Like, we felt like we known each other for a long time. Like, I could tell him certain stuff, and then he didn't seem like he was judging me. And it was just that mutual respect that we kind of grew for one another. And I love the fact that he was a comedian because he always made me laugh, and I felt safe with him, which I still do. And I don't know, like, it was just something about him was just so different than my past relationships. And he was willing to take his time with me. And I think that is what made me fall so deep in love with him, because he was willing to just be patient, you know, and allow me to be like, okay, I'm ready for the next step, or okay, you know. And it was a distant relationship for a little bit because he was living in St. Louis and I was here in Indy, and we were FaceTiming and getting to know each other, and it was fun because I just get to learn this person that was so intriguing because he didn't give it to me all at once. It was just a little bit at a time. Like, I slowly found out he liked to play video games. He didn't tell me that right away. But little did he know, I like to play video games. So it was like, I don't know. He just that slow learning process. And he allowed me to learn him, and I allowed him to learn me. And it just felt natural. And you know how, like, when you get married to someone, and on my wedding day, because, we got married twice.
Come on, talk about it.
Okay? Just like you got married twice.
Yep.
To your one husband.
Yep.
And so, and guys, that's what me and her got in common. Like, we both, except she only had one marriage. She's doing this one time thing. With me, she was like, "Girl, we got something in common. We both got married twice." I'm like, "Girl, okay." So getting to marry your person twice is so amazing. The first time I married him at Mama's house,
Yep.
and then we waited a year, and then we remarried, and we got to marry each other again, and it felt like I was marrying him for the first time because it was just those bubbly. I mean, everything about our wedding day was just what I wanted, and he gave me everything I wanted. When I said I wanted to come in on a horse, he made sure I did that. Like, literally, I was able to live out my dream wedding with my person. And he is the one and only person I changed my last name for. I never changed my last name before. I don't know if you knew that, but I never changed my last name. But I changed my last name with him, so I am a Carter. And so, like, I don't know, like, everything about the experience with my husband, my one, my only, is different because even when I'm upset and I'm sad, he tries to figure out why I'm sad. Are you okay? Can I do something? And he done figured out my love language, right? It's acts of service. So if I'm mad, Wani, you know what this man will do? He'll wash the dishes, or he'll clean the kitchen, or he'll do something that I don't have to do, which will make me feel a little better. So he done kind of figured me out. Where I done noticed his love language is touch. Did you know that? His love language is touch. He like to be. I don't like touch, but I do that for him. And because it's all about compromising. Marriage is
Yeah.
literally all about compromising. And when you can admit, like, if you do something wrong, when you can admit you're wrong, and it's okay to be wrong. So I don't know. I feel like I'm talking too much,
No,
but
I'm enjoying it because it's that, right? Because again, just to, like she said, you all, we both, so let my husband and I only dated for 2 months. My husband already knew, both of us had came out of long-term relationships. We were like, we already had, we both were on a journey. Me and my husband were both on a journey as well. Like, my husband was not having no sex. I can't speak on like that for me, right? I can't say that for me. I did not do that. I'm just being very truthful. But my husband did. And so when I met my husband, we did not have any type of sex. And then when we crossed that line, Cookie, my husband felt so bad. And I had to move in with my husband. My husband told me, he said, "No, let me tell you something. You cannot stay here unless we get married, because I'm not shacking up with another woman." And then my husband held me accountable, because I said the same thing to him on our first date. I said, "Listen, I'm not moving in with a man. You have your own place. I have my own place. That's it." But life had changed for me, because I was living on campus, and he was like, "Listen, your stuff can stay here, but you can't stay here." I think I spent like with my husband one time, and then that time he was like, "Hey," the next day or so, he was like, "We got to get married." And so we end up going, like you and BJ, end up on March 1st, going down to Auntie Kim's house, and we got married. We woke up. My husband woke up and was like, "No, you can't. Either you're gonna leave here, or you're gonna marry me." And I said, "Oh, you for real, for real?"
You said, "Are you in business?"
And he stood on business, and so I can appreciate him. And then and over time, because the Bible, let's be very clear. The Bible says, "I'd rather for you to marry than to burn," which means I'd rather for you guys to get married than to have sex or live together or shack up. I wasn't raised like that. My parents was not, you know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. I did shack up for 6 years with somebody. Right. And I told God, I said, as a preacher, I do not want to be up preaching and teaching, and I'm going home and laying with a man that I ain't married to.
Mm-hmm.
So I can appreciate what you said. Like, you're forever person, and you knowing your values, and you knowing who you are, and how you said BJ was patient with you. Like, hey, and y'all worry. Like, we didn't know Cookie for a while. And first of all, my brother is very, don't bring a lot of people around us, because number one, I'm very protective. I'm the oldest. I'm very protective of my brother. That's My brother and I are 13 months apart. So he's almost like my twin. For a long time, we used to lie and tell people we were twins. At one time, we was, so he was dark skinned, he was light skinned, but we went to school together, and that's my best friend. That was my very first friend. So we were very close. And I don't play about my brother. And guess what? I don't play about his wife.
Okay, and his wife don't play about her.
Are my nieces. So
Okay.
again, it's and we both have blended families, right? I have my brother came into her kids' life and became a father figure to her kids. Her kids love her. We love her kids. Same thing with my husband. My husband has 2 children. I have one biological child. I love my bonus children. I love them. And it's those things that really matter, and knowing how to really stand on those things. And so we're just gonna go right into it. Sister, let's talk a little bit about, since we kind of laid it out, we're talking about the foundations of marriage. Faith as a foundation. When you hear that, sister, what comes to mind first?
Because a marriage won't be strong without faith in it, I would say God should be your primary foundation, and then your man being that leader in your relationship. Meanwhile, a woman's there to assist and help with home and keeping everybody grounded. Because honestly, the woman is the brain, the man is the muscle, but God is your foundation. So when I think of that, that's what I think about. What about you?
When you were so when you and BJ were, what is it that made you say, like, hey, BJ is the one? Like, was it because his faith in God, or was it because that he was brought up in church, or what was it?
No, because God showed me. It's
Wow.
crazy because, oh my God. Okay. So I don't know if you've ever had a dream like this, but I asked God, I said, God, if this is the man for me, give me a sign, a vision, or something. I have dreams, and I feel like God answers a lot of my questions through dreams. And so I had a dream I was getting married, Wani, and God showed me his face.
Mm. Mm.
So, and what's crazy is I didn't tell BJ that. But when BJ asked me to be his wife, I was just like, wow, that's amazing. But you know how you just know. Other than God giving me that sign, I felt like I already knew. I just needed confirmation from him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I think for me, when I I don't so I when I because I was always asking God, am I because we dated for 2 months, right? We uh moved in together, and we would not want to shack up, and so we got married. And I asked God, I said, God, is this the person for me, or is he for me? God already told my husband the very first day that he met me that I was his wife. And I tried to, and then I had so much going on in my life that I wasn't ready to let certain things go, right? Because you when you're married to somebody, you gotta let things go. And my husband was already talking about he wanted to be married, so he didn't want no girlfriend. If I didn't, it was not put me in a boyfriend status. Don't put me in no friend zone, none of that. And so I think for me, when I knew that he was my husband, when I was walking down the aisle,
Wow.
and my dad asked me and said, "Do you want this? Are you ready?" And all I could remember was saying, "Yes, I'm ready." And everything that happened that day or the day before, that weekend, when I tell you, sister, everything was distracting me from, like, everything was just going so wrong. I was like, well, maybe this ain't me. Maybe this ain't right. Maybe all of those different things. Maybe we shouldn't get married. Maybe we moving too fast. And when my dad asked me that question, and I said, Daddy, a calmness came over me and said, yes, I'm ready. And I shouted down that aisle to my husband
I
because
know that's right.
I was like, wow. And again, so yes, faith is everything. Faith without works is dead. And so even in your marriage, you have to have faith. You have to have faith in God, and faith that God is going to lead you to a path of righteousness for his name's sake, even in your marriage. Because again, the outside people are going to say stuff to try to hinder you from that. That's what I tell you. The man and woman becomes one flesh. And so, Cookie, how important is it for you to have a prayer life in your marriage?
I think it's very important. That's why it's very important that you guys are equally yoked, because um that's why I couldn't date anyone who don't see the world like I see the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
if I had so many different men that were interested, but maybe they were Muslim, or maybe they, didn't believe at all. Like, I can't be with, and I'm not judging, right? Because that's not my thing. I don't judge, but I couldn't date anyone who don't believe the things that I believe, or I can't date anyone with a different religion because I'm not willing to convert. So yes, a prayer life is very important. I mean, that's how I get through a lot of my shortcomings. I mean, I don't have many, because the God I serve is awesome, and I don't never really think negative. But I will tell you that majority of my time I spend in the shower thanking God and being grateful that, first of all, that He gave me the life that I asked Him for. I mean, from the husband to my kids and even my unborn, because I haven't given up on that. So, like, I feel like everything I ask God for, He gives it to me. And I feel like He's rewarding me because of my union. And so, yes, prayer life is very important. I don't know how people make it without one. So,
Absolutely. Let me tell you, I have not prayed so much since I've been married. Let me help you understand something. I've been preaching and teaching all my life. Since I was 14. But when I tell you, praying now in this season of being married, my first year of marriage, because my first year of marriage was good. We were all, but then life happened to where we almost lost our daughter, our
wow.
second year of marriage. And then I got sick the third year in our marriage and dealt with that. My husband lost his job. We both lost our jobs. And we had a car accident. We had some tragic happen with our boys. So all of that in the first 9 years of our marriage. And when I tell you, when I look back over what God has done and not having that prayer life and and being faithful to God first, like you just said, and it's necessary for you to have a prayer life together and separately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Me and my husband, uh, when we fast, we just came off a fast and we prayed together in that fast, and we try our best to pray together often, um, as much as possible. So this we used to pray all the time together, all the time, and then like now this year, me and my husband has done. Still, we're gonna do a vow at least once a week. We need to be praying together.
Mm-hmm.
And so we opened up the year us praying together. We did our fast. We kind of prayed together. Again, yes, we got some people get off track, but I guarantee you, when it's in your hearts, God is going to make sure that you continue what you said. And so it's very necessary. So a lot of times people too, Cookie, let's talk about this for a minute. A lot of people get lost and wrapped up because they think they have to idolize their spouse. What do you feel about that?
Oh, honey, he's my king. No, I'm just kidding. No, but for real. No, but for real. Yes. I don't idolize him, but I do. I'm weird, Wani. Like, I will tell you one thing. I'm obsessed with my husband. So bad. The other day he had to work night shift, right? And I had to sleep by myself. And the only way I could go to sleep was wearing his I can't believe I'm saying this whole thing. Was wearing his t-shirt because I could sniff it.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I'm obsessed with my husband. And if you're not, then whatever. But I'm obsessed over mine. Now, idolizing him, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put anybody before you do God. But I will tell you that I do obsess over my husband, real bad.
Yes, and I agree. I definitely agree. I don't idolize my husband, but I do look. I don't even can say I'm obsessed with my husband, but I am definitely that person that overly love my husband so much because he's such a good person, and I just want so much for us, right?
Mhm.
And my husband's getting ready to retire. And so I want to retire my husband, Cookie. When I say when he retire, I don't want him to work. I want us to be traveling together and him with me, and we just going all over the world. Because I told my husband, when you retire, I'm retiring.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm putting the work in now, like going back to school, finishing my degree in HR. So when I find that job, I'm gonna give them 5 years. When my husband retire, and uh and everything like that, I'm retiring too because my business is gonna be picking up. Like my sister already put in the atmosphere. We billionaires. So when
That's
my
right.
husband retires,
It's done.
We ain't gotta get no he ain't gotta go back to no other job.
Mm-hmm.
My husband worked for his first name. Our business is going to leave a legacy because the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance not just for his children but his children's children, and so a generational thing. And so, like I told my husband, I said, "You're working to pay bills. I'm working to leave a legacy." Can you talk about that, Cookie?
Yes. So that's what me and my husband's doing right now. So, um, literally building a legacy. We're trying to learn how to do this real estate thing so that we could, have that coming in as far as a different string of income. Obviously, with content, once it grows and takes off, we'll have that carry on. Our kids are starting their own YouTube channel, um, Kaden and Kaylee's World. So we're going to be working on that. Um, yes, and we're doing it together. And he started his own filming company. Him and my sister's husband, they're working together. They have so many people on their team. And they started their own filming company so they can start making movies and things like that. Like, so we have so many things that we are like working on so that we could just build, and then after a while, things will be making revenue for us, and we can just relax and reap the hard labor. And then hopefully, when our kids, grow up and they're ready to work and do what they desire to do, we can employ our kids, and they won't have to work under anyone other than their mother and their dad. So baby steps, we gonna get there.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. I have so much respect for the Wayans,
Mm-hmm.
the family. They did it right,
Mm-hmm.
like so much. And I hope somebody tagged them in this live so they can hear this. But I love Keenan Ivy Wayans. I love Marlon Wayans. I love all the Wayans, Ken Wayans, all of them. Why? Because they did it right. Damon Wayans, they did it right. Like Keenan, all of them did it right. They really helped each other. They weren't saying they was obligated to do anything. They didn't say anything like that. They just, okay, brother, what I need to do. And he employed his family. He
Yeah.
employed his family. And then they worked. They worked and they were funny. Shine, all of them they worked and seen, and now they're kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Are
the
following in their
nephews
footsteps. Mm-hmm.
following their footsteps, and that's what it's about. But we are so accustomed to, oh, handouts. No, it's not about handouts. Like we were talking yesterday on the phone, like we are in this together, and it's not about obligation. My brother, when he make his millions, he's not obligated to take care of me, you know, but listen, I could be your HR person. What I need to do be your HR person, right? You know what I need to do to be on your team. Like that's what it's about. That not, oh brother, you could give me some money, pay my bills because you made it. No, no. We're not even obligated to take care of our parents. Our parents are obligated to take care of us. But when we get why? Because when we get a certain age, they are raising us to be good citizens. And we
Mm-hmm.
get of age and we're ready to leave the house, and it ain't got to take care of us no more either. Right? And I think we in the Black community have gotten that so wrong and so off that you obligated because you my family. You supposed to do for me. No, I'm not supposed to do for you. I'm only
Even
supposed.
though, even though, sis, I've always said if I ever, when we become billionaires, we are definitely helping our family.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to get like at least like 13 acres of land and then build everybody's houses on that land so that we're all close. And then I wanted to brick off outside world so that you would need a code to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And
We got the
and the
same
only
thing.
yeah. And then everybody right there. So then we don't have to worry about none of that.
Absolutely.
Storms and none of that. We can all work together. We all be in the same vicinity.
Yeah,
Um,
and I agree. I love that. That's my hope. I don't know if anybody's seen like the green. I love the green leaf. It was a show called Greenleaf, and and they had this really big mansion, and God showed me that that's my house, and we're gonna have multiple properties because I work in a nursing home, and I was like, nobody in my family is going into a nursing home. Period, point blank. I'm going to have a nursing facility for people, and it's going to be private. I'm going to hire private nurses to come and take care of my family. And and if they don't, like, I have aunties who don't have children or anything like that, and so no, so that's my calling. Like, I am going to, and then I have my sister here and with me, and we both on the same page. That's why I tell we so much in line with each other and our visions and how we think. And so, but we're different, right? But we complement each other so well, and her and my brother complement each other so well too. So let's talk about trusting God in difficult seasons in a marriage.
mm. See, you know what? It's so easy to love my, and I don't want to sound like my marriage is perfect because it kind of is, but but I don't want to sound like my marriage is perfect just because whatever, right? But we're not there, Wani. Like, I don't know if it's because he is so easy to love, and we just literally, like, I know when he needs his space, because a lot of times I'll just be like, okay, he's over there. I'm gonna just stay over here and let him have his space. Like if he's tired or something like that. But like otherwise, we don't really have a lot. And then when we do, I think we weather through our storms together very well. Like there was a one point where I was the primary income because he had hurt his back. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He hurt his back and he was kind of laid off of work just for a little bit. And he was still kind of getting money, but it wasn't like what he would be making if he was actively working. And so I had to carry the family for a little bit. And I was okay with that though. Like I wanted him to get better and, you know, be off as long as he need to so that he could get better to carry
Right.
our family. And now he's back at work, we good. But we were good before. Like, I don't know. When there are disagreements, we don't yell at each other. We literally just we play a game to get our words out. I don't know if I've ever shared that with you, but if let's just say if we are at odds with one another and we'll come back together, and if he needs to talk, he has to have maybe it's an object or something. He has to be holding this object to get out his words. We'll take turns expressing how we feel because two people talking at one time, you ain't gonna be able to hear. Ain't nobody gonna be able to hear nothing. But if you take that time to listen, because now you're listening not to respond, but listening to understand, right? And then he'll take the torch. He'll say how he feels, and it works. And then I'll hear him. We can either agree to disagree, or I'm like, okay, I get it. No, my bad. I'm sorry. You know, and I'm sorry is not hard to say, especially not in our relationship, because I'm always wrong sometimes. But a lot of times I'll be right. And he's like, well, you're right. My bad. I don't
Yeah.
know. So like, how they normally say like the first year of marriage is like the hardest. It wasn't with us. I think like honestly, the first year that we were married, I think we freaked more than I've ever freaked before. It was a lot of freaking. Okay.
Yes, yes, Lord. My first year was too.
Yeah,
I
a
think.
lot of
I think.
freaking.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. I think for us, our second marriage was like it was kind of rough.
Hmm.
Uh, and it was for me. It's because of the simple fact I do have a mouth, and I am a. I was not like Cookie. I told y'all we opposites. We different, right? You're gonna hear what I gotta say. But like she said, nobody's listening to each other. And then my husband got a mouth, right? My husband got to have last word. I got to have last word, right? But it was in that second marriage. I mean, our second year of our marriage was very that we didn't have no torch. I never. This is a true story. The true story. Oh my goodness! My auntie had told us, "Y'all sit down and somebody write." Girl, we tried it, right, Cookie? And it was my husband's turn to talk. I cut him off. Cut him off. When I tell y'all now, though, now I don't even say a word. I just really listen to my husband. Because here's the thing. I had to learn by me being the head of the family for so long. I was always the protector. Because she's not lying when she says that my brother don't talk. My brother didn't talk. My brother didn't get a lot of whoopings. My brother did not, I tried to fight my brother once. It didn't work well because he's very strong. So, but I was the head of the house. My mom got sick. My brother at that time, he was a senior in high school. And so, and I worked 2 jobs. And so I made sure that, my brother was supposed to be going to school, but he wasn't going to school. Almost a whole semester, he wasn't going to school. Because he felt as though, since I graduated and I didn't get him up, that he didn't have to go. But I say that all to say it. So that's why it was so hard for me, because I was the leader. Like when my mom got sick, my dad moved back into the house with us, showed me how to pay bills. He was like, "Hey, Juan, you got to learn how to take care of the family. Just say something happened to your mom or me." Like, so my dad did that. And so it was very hard for me to let my husband lead. And you have to let your husband lead. So I'm telling you, the second year of our marriage, baby, I was calling my daddy all the time. Like, "Hey, this Negro got to go. He tripping." Like, he ain't finna just tell me what to do, right? That was my attitude. But I had to going back to pray. And I surrounded myself with women. Thank you, Holy Ghost. You got to make sure you surround yourself with people who respects marriage, and there were praying women too. And I will call this young lady, my mentor at the time, and she still is my mentor. I will call her and say, no. She was like, "Wani, you are married. You have to learn how to be quiet." The same thing that I said, my husband called me bossy. And I said, my daddy called me bossy. She was like, "Well, Wani, you may be a little bossy."
But you're like,
She said, "Listen, we are very strong women." And the same thing, I said, "But he said he wanted a strong, independent woman, but that's the same thing that he did not want too." He loved the fact that I'm a strong, independent woman, but it's also something that he despised too, because I'm so strong and I'm so independent, and I had to learn how to act in that soft space with my husband. And so I'm still learning, and how to be gentle, and how to be showing the fruits of the Spirit to my husband. And so again, you have to, we're going right into the next subject, because we're talking about the fruits of the Spirit, grace and forgiveness. A lot of people don't understand how to give grace and how to forgive. Like you just said, "I'm sorry." You have to be able to say that you're sorry to your mates. Women, I've been watching on TikTok and seeing on TikTok, sister, women don't know how to say they sorry when they wrong, or it's hard for them to say they sorry. It ain't hard for me to say when I know I'm wrong. I can admit that I'm wrong. And when I'm right, I can say, "You know what? I can see what you're talking about, but that's okay. You ain't got to say it." And it does not make me a weak person.
That's what I was about to tell you. And you don't that doesn't mean you're weak. It just means that you can take accountability. And I hear it a lot, men to say, the thing about women is that they ain't never wrong. And or they can't say that they're wrong and they can't take accountability. I think the women, I'm not going to say just black women, just women in general,
Yeah.
it's hard for us to say, hmm, wow, I'm wrong. That's hard to say. And for the longest, I'm going to tell you something, I've not always been a very submissive woman, but I am submissive when I feel safe. Does that make sense? Because,
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
can start off submissive. Like, I'm going back to that first marriage, right? I can start off very submissive. But if I feel like you're not leading me in the right direction, I can be very outspoken. I can be very um, cutthroat, very blunt, and you will be able to tell that I've lost respect
Wow.
for the way that I talk. And so, honestly, I mean, like, and even with my second marriage, I was very submissive. He made me. He told me he didn't like the fact that I made too much money, so I quit my job. You know, and I became very submissive, and ended up getting my job back, girl, because you know, honey, I had to get rid of him. But, but yeah, but the thing about your, you know, my husband, your brother, is that he allows me to feel safe, so I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about um being right or wrong because I just want to make him happy. So if swallowing my pride is gonna make him happy, I'm willing to do it. Because is the fight really worth losing the person that you care about? You know? And so it's more to life than just proving that you're right.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, even if I feel like I'm right, I'll be like, babe, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm right. And he'll be like, dang, okay. And then we're on to the next. And then it's over. You know?
Yeah.
We're back happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's and knowing how to freely forgive your mates.
Mm-hmm.
When they do something wrong, you don't hit it over their head. You don't, you was wrong. You did this. You did that. No, no, that's not true forgiveness.
That's true.
True forgiveness. You have to, if God forgive us for all our sin, and He don't remember it no more. So just because your mate or your wife or your husband um made a mistake, don't beat them over the head because they made a mistake. And if they really genuinely are, they are sorry and they not gonna do it again, right? And it could be anything, anything, So both of us don't have really my a lot of bad our men doing us bad. They don't know nothing really, really bad has ever happened. Anything. And so that's why we know how to compromise. You have to know how to compromise in your marriage. Okay. It ain't just one sided. Even though I think sometimes it needs to be one side, it needs to be my side, my way all the time. But in some instances, it is my way, right? My husband do make sure and go out of his way. He's very caring. Arthur is very caring. He
He
makes
is.
sure I am okay. All of that.
And he will cater to you. That's one
Oh
thing
my
oh my,
God, my husband.
yeah, yeah.
Listen. When you was talking about touch, that is my husband. My husband loves touch. Me, I just want you to listen to me. We could be laying in the bed. I could be on my phone. He could be on his phone. I'm content. That's it. No,
Mm-hmm.
my husband gotta touch me. He gotta feel me. All of that. He done came to the steps right now, trying to see where I'm at already because he came up. And I'm downstairs, y'all.
She said, I am working.
But he right here at the step. Came to the steps. And then went back because he said I'm still working. But that's who he is. And I had to learn that and if I don't touch my husband or give my husband some type of affection, he's a very affectionate. I'm not at all. I am not affectionate. I am not. but I know that's what my husband likes. So just because I don't like it, I give that to my husband. Now my husband know I love to eat. He knows this. Baby, I am good with a good home. My husband can cook, y'all. I pray for my husband because I didn't want to cook every day. And I don't cook. I cook. Guess what I did today? You asked me
What?
yesterday, did I cook? And I said no. I made my husband breakfast this morning.
Ooh!
And I don't do that, y'all.
She said,
But
I do that, y'all.
but again, it's those things, right? Just because I don't like to cook, but I do know how to cook. I just don't like to do it. That is not my thing. And but I prayed and asked God to send me a husband so where I ain't gotta cook. He cook. My husband love to cook. That's his profession. My husband was a chef for years. And so those types of things is what my husband does. And for me, I am just a person that um a good conversation, us having fun, making each other laugh. All and so that's me. I am that person. I love to have me and my husband have a really good time with each other, and I enjoy his company. I love to be around my husband all the time. Like Cookie said, it's with her and BJ, just being in his presence.
Mhm. So
Not
I do
all
got a
the time.
question, sis. So what do we tell a woman? Because, like, what do we tell a woman? And I'm gonna tell you, I have a friend who trusts me with her information, so I'm not gonna obviously disclose her name. But she's married to this man. They've been married for 12 years, and she's like she's miserable.
Mm.
Um, he doesn't compromise with her, and she's even to the point where she's like, I feel like giving up, and I'm like, don't give up, tough it out. And I told her, I was like, won't you start dating each other again? It just sounds like you guys outgrew each other. Maybe start dating each other again. What would you say to a woman that is in that situation?
Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? I had this is a really good, really good question because I am never going to tell a woman or a man to leave their wife. That is not what the Bible says. I'm never going to tell somebody to do that. Only you know when you're tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't and seek God and seek wise counsel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they are believers or not, or whatever their higher power is, whatever they believe in. That's not for me to say. But I would definitely say what you just said. Could date each other.
Mm-hmm.
Dating each other is important. You have to continue to date each other um on a consistent basis. Me and my husband don't have little children. Our kids are grown and gone.
So what? Okay, so she does. She does have little children, and
And
I
that
feel like too that maybe what is causing
yes,
that disconnect because they're all everybody's focused on the kids and they forget
yes.
the most
And that's
important
the
part.
wrong thing. I think a lot of times that is the wrong thing that we attend to do as married people because when we have kids, um, we don't kids when you have kids, you're growing your kids so they're gonna move out the house. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to still have date night even when you have your children. There's a couple on TikTok who I follow who does a very great job of spending time with just themselves. And they don't do nothing really, really fancy, right? They have little children. They both work full-time job and they have a business. And so what they do is they cook together.
Mm-hmm.
On date night is I think it's every other Friday, I think it is. They and they have movie and they may cook together or they may have movie night, in their home. Like and her and they go she may go out one time on a Friday and pick the event so to go out somewhere because she like to go out. And but he like to stay at home. And so when it's his turn to do something, but he makes it like they're going out, so it could be nice for her, right? Because she likes to go out and do things, and he pretty much like to stay at home. And so, like you just said, you have to compromise with your mate and everything. And so, and then they didn't have, and then so they was kind of talking about too that they did not have a lot of money too. So when in the beginning, and so that's what they kind of created, and that it just turned into this big old thing, and they put it on TikTok, and they have. And I was like, that is really, really nice. And so that's what I would probably, that's what I would say to that couple is to, number one, uh pray if you believe in, if you're a believer or whoever you're praying to, and to seek wise counsel, and put go back to dating each other, send love letters, whatever they, whatever it is that you do. Buy his favorite candy bar, you start it. Don't look for him to start it. And I think a lot of us do that. A lot of
Yes, we
men
do. And why do we do that? Why? Like, nope, I'm gonna wait for him to do it.
do it. Yeah, no, you do it.
You be waiting forever.
You be waiting forever. You be waiting forever. No, so yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I just told her, I was like, why don't you guys, because it sounds like the kids. A lot of times when we have young babies, people are so fixated on raising the kids and doing things just with the kids, you and the kids, you and the kids. When it was you guys before you and the kids, or in their situation, it was them before it was them and the kids. And so I said, there's a such thing as being around the kids too much. Maybe you guys need to hire a nanny or something and
Yeah.
get away for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Rekindle what it is you guys are lacking thereof, because that's the only thing I can think. Like, if you loved each other once upon a time, where's the love at? If it
Yeah.
was real love,
Yeah.
right? If it
Yeah.
was real love, it would still be there. You just have to unite that flame again. You
Yeah.
have to figure out how to unite that flame.
Yeah. You have
But,
to. You have to. You have to. So what? Let's get into some closing remarks because your girl is sleepy. I gotta go. I got.
Closing remarks. Let's see.
Tell them what's going on with Spill the Tea with Cookie or podcast and what you got.
Oh yes, you guys. Okay, I'm a podcaster. You guys could find me on YouTube, Spill the Tea with Cookie, which is in my title box there. Or you guys can follow me on social media, Spill the Tea with Cookie, everything. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, I'm there. Spill the Tea with Cookie.
Yes.
We talk about everything. So everything relationship related, politics, children. We talk about a little bit of everything. So it'd be awesome if you just tune in. And if you come from Wani Carter Foster, you can always say that she sent you here. But that's all I got.
Yes, and so you guys, so this is definitely was a promptu for me and my sister. We definitely gonna be keeping this going. Us coming in, we just got to figure out if it's gonna be once a month. I think it may be able to be once a month. We come back and we just share real life experiences to really help those. You may be seasonal marriages, you may be your first year in marriage, or you may be thinking about being married, or you might got just recently engaged. This is for everybody to really pour into. We're going to be doing real life conversations. And
Yeah.
again, you can follow me on all social media. My upcoming event I am having on the 17th of this month is a black and white professional mixer at the Ritz-Carlton at 6:30. So join me. And then also I can't wait till I come to Indy to be on my sister podcast.
Yes.
So
Yes.
y'all stay tuned to both of us. Y'all we'll be back next month, and we will be definitely going further in on talking about so you heard tonight faith of foundations, and then we're going to come back and really go dive deeper on what true love really means next month. So
Okay.
again, let's go and Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. My name is Waniata Carter Foster, that church girl with my sister. Spill the tea with Cookie Kata. Love you all. Y'all have a good night.
Love you. Bye.